Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Bobcat Bonsai here. Today we're going to go through and replot all our plants that we got in the mail the other day in our surprise shipment. So let's get along to it. So with these three little guys in the 2-inch pots, we're going to end up just putting them into these two pots then. We'll put them into those two pots, and then I've got another little pot right here that we'll end up putting them into. And then with our two bigger ones, I'm going to put them into these square bonsai pots that I've got. So we're going to be using these rectangular bonsai training pots that are plastic. It'll fit in there pretty good, and we're not really adding much around it, just kind of giving it somewhere to just do its own thing for a little while. Once it goes into here, we probably will not move it. I don't know. Let me look at the base here. It doesn't really look like there's many roots coming out the bottom, so it may be 2 years before we have to repot this one. So, as you saw in the video, I had to look up the names, so don't mind me as I go through my little green tag cheat sheets here. And this one is the Schefflera arboricola. I probably completely butchered that name, but a Schefflera arboricola. So we're just going to get this one switched out here, and we may have to trim up some of these dead branches on it. So let's get to it real quick. Give it a little squish on the sides, flip. All right. So the roots actually look better than what I was expecting. They're not super high up here, but they are some good looking roots. I'm also seeing that I have these guys in the greenhouse, but they were last watered last night, and this soil is absolutely soaked. And when I got it in, it was almost bone dry. So I'm gonna have to figure something out with the watering. I'm just gonna have to keep a better eye on it and actually get a check. I will be putting this into a bonsai soil, so it's going to be a lot better draining than what this is sitting in right now. I'm not planning on doing any root trimming today, just clean up and repot. It actually looks like it's got a fantastic radial root pattern as it is here. Sorry about that. Somebody just went flying by on their motorcycle with their music blaring. Let's see this little guy. Alright, so I'm going to... Oh, okay. That one just popped off super easily. And I think that one might have a hard time because it looks like there was a fertilizer pellet sitting right inside on the crease there. Okay, so we got a good radial root pattern here. And that is pretty awesome because that saves me a lot of time. I am actually going to reuse some of this soil. I like to kind of give it a good mix up here whenever I'm doing it. So I have bonsai soil mixed with pine bark, and that just kind of emits a little bit of compost in here as well with the old roots and everything. So we will take that, actually. We're going to grab up this little wire. And run a wire up through the base of it here. I have another little piece of wire. We'll run that one up the other way. I'm going to make a little mound in the middle here. Alright, so I've got my little mound there. Now I'm just going to work these roots to go in a direction that I want around here. And once the roots get more mature, then we'll talk about going back and doing some root pruning and all that. So I'm just going to take this little wire here. Ever so slightly get this on there. I don't want to squeeze this super hard. I'm going to take the one from the other side. And I'm not wrapping tight around the trunk. I am leaving this loose as I go. So it'll have a little bit of movement, but there will be enough to keep it where I wanted that. So now I'm just going to grab some more soil and basically just drop it all around. Yeah, there are some big chunks of mulch in here. So we're going to get that in there. And then we're going to work on getting the soil down and inside. And there are some larger chunks of lava rock in here as well, just so that it doesn't hold in too much moisture. Alright. And don't mind my moss, it's super dried out, but I'm going to put just a little bit right around where I want the trunk to be at. Oh, sorry about that. Almost knocked you down. Then we're just going to give it a little bit of water. The water should run through here rather quickly. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like a waterfall out the other side. So give me 1 second to grab my pruners. Alrighty, so I've got my little nips here. I'm gonna let this guy go for now. But like this leaf has some damage, so we're gonna nip it up here so that it has room to die back. I've got another little one up here that's dead, so we'll cut that one back. We lost this guy, trim that. That little one was not good at all there, so that one actually was just easy to pull off. Cut that one. Alright, so I'm gonna butcher it again. This Schefflera arboricola is all finished up. So now let's jump to the next one. By the next one I actually mean the next Schefflera arboricola. I'm sorry, I can say it 1,000 times and I still won't get it right. Okay, so this one I watered the exact same way as the other one, and this one is like bone dry. It looks like they actually have a lot more sand in this soil, but this one has a lot more roots as well. So we're just going to start again, just from the top and work our way out. But as you can tell by the foliage, this is a much, much healthier looking little tree. Alright, so now that we got that, we're going to start at the bottom here and see. This one just has so many white roots. Alright. Sorry about that, camera overheated. Let's see if I can do this a little bit faster so that we can get through this. I put another one of my little trees up a little higher just to kind of put some shade onto it. So these higher roots up here, we're probably going to end up trying to use as aerials. The rest of this stuff, it's making a great looking radial root pattern here. So again, we're not going to mess with it too much. We're just going to let it go. So we're going to set this little guy down. Throw some wire in. Swap one wire. I think I'm just going to put one wire in on this one because the other one, the two, wasn't really necessary. So again, I'm just going to come in and drop some of my thicker stuff down in the middle here. Then drop a little other soil around it. Alright, sorry about that, the camera overheated again. So this one's all wired up down at the base. I decided to go with this as my front view right here. I put a little bit of mulch in the front and a little bit of bigger pine bark chunks in the back. That way it has its own little look as well. So I'm going to move that one out of the way.